How's it going, everybody? I am going to start filming videos of me redoing furniture. So I've had this dresser for 6 years now. I got it from an antique shop. I have wanted to refinish it for as long as I can remember. So I gathered all the materials I needed for it. First, I'm going to put the stripper on the paint and let that sit. And while it's sitting, I'm going to go ahead and scuff sand the body of the dresser. Here, I'm just pointing at the canopy that I have to set up while I am letting the citrus strip do its thing. First things first, PPE on, and then we just start lathering on the citrus strip. So I want to go ahead and just apply it right on there. I'm going to try to do a pretty thick layer, as thick as I can pretty much, because I don't want it to dry out. But you'll also see that I decided to add some plastic wrap on there to keep the Texas sun out of the mix because it is hot outside. And I went ahead and left this for 35 minutes. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and scuff sand this. I got a 120 grit on here just to scuff it down, and then I'm gonna clean it off. So update, I don't like how this is getting taken off with the 120 grit. So I think I'm gonna have to apply some citrus strip on here and go ahead and scrape it. All right, let's go ahead and take off this plastic wrap, and then we'll do a little scrapage, see what it looks like. This was indeed my first time using paint stripper and scraping it off, and if I do say so myself, it is gorgeous. Of course, this is not what the wood is going to look like after it dries. You will see that. But yes, I didn't go in a straight perfect line. Sue me, I'm so sorry. I'm using this LA's Totally Awesome. It's concentrated, so I'm not going to dilute it. I'm going to spray that on there, scrub it down, and then we'll wipe it off and see how it goes from there. So I just want to hop in here and say that this was a disaster of a mess for me to do. The LA's Awesome chemical compound, whatever, did a great job. The stripper did its job, as I note in the future of this video. But yeah, I had to go to the store and buy some green scouring pads because this brush was just working overtime and getting no pay. That was really difficult. The citrus strip did its job, but I didn't do a good enough job of putting it everywhere, so I did a lot of scrubbing. So that took me a long time. I will show you the finished product in a minute. I've still got to sand a lot of the boards. I have to let them dry so I don't tear up the wood with the sander. Now I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off. Same scenario here. The citrus strip, it did just fine. I do really think I need to get the stronger chemicals. I just wanted to do this for my first time because I wasn't very comfortable with everything. So this is what it looked like after the first go round. I had to do a lot of sanding and a lot of scrubbing as well on this one. So that chemical stripper is really going to come in handy when I get it for my next project. Here's what we have so far. These are dried and ready to sand down. This top is still drying, getting ready to sand that down next. And then we're gonna scuff sand the sides, finish that off. And I'm going with the primer. And this is taking a lot of time. Again, this is my first time doing it, so it's a lot of trial and error, but as I'm going, I'm realizing what I need to do, learning from my mistakes and getting the hang of things. But yeah, like I said, this is it right now, and on to the next. Okay, so as it turns out, it's another day. Obviously, these are not the same color as the rest, so I'm going to sand these down with a lower grit, with 80 grit, and then hopefully we'll have the same finish for the stain. Here is a before the 80 grit. This is the after. It's not much different, you can still see it, but I'm gonna put some stain conditioner on as well, and that should help it evenly distribute. Your boy is covered in wood dust, but now I'm gonna make my way up to 120 and 220 to smooth out. So here, I hope you can see that this is 120 and this is the 220, much smoother. Now we're gonna wipe everything off and prepare it for priming. All right, so I got my tinted gray primer because I'm doing a darker color. And I've got this gun to go on top so it can go more evenly. So let's check out the first go round. Full disclosure here, I did a terrible job. So this was my first time using this attachment for the spray can, and I gotta say it was not as smooth and well dispersed as I thought it would be. So it's gonna look a little splotchy. But yeah, this is just what it looks like on the first go round. Again, I go back and I fix it. Next, I've got the pre-stained wood conditioner I need to apply. So like I said, this is me applying the pre-stained wood conditioner, and that's just so the stain is absorbed into the wood more evenly, and that should help me with those little spots that you see right there. But I also went ahead and wiped it way too soon, so I'll have to go over and do it again. This is the stain I'm using. I don't know why I thought I got more footage of putting it on, applying it and removing it, but I guess not. Got 220 grit here. I'm gonna hand sand it because the sander is too strong, and I need to hurry up so I can apply the second coat to sit overnight because mosquitoes are going crazy and the sun is going down. Second coat applied. We're gonna let this sit overnight. Next day, and it turns out we had some interminglings with my gray primer, so I had to sand that down a little bit, so I've got to go over it again with more stain. I am about to sand this down to smooth it out to apply the first coat. We're doing Hunt Club Green. I learned my mistake with the primer. I am going to get closer to get an even layer. Here is the first coat. I am slightly annoyed with myself because it is kind of splotchy, this side especially. So I've got to do another coat. Unfortunately, I need more paint, so I gotta get more paint, sand this down after it dries, and then put another coat. I do have some overspray. Again, this is just for me. This is for my house. So I am going to learn and get better. And so we'll see how that goes. This is an upcoming project. And I have another dresser out there that I'm gonna be working on as well. Here is the other coat of the stain. These drawers are looking great in my opinion. Letting them dry, then we'll apply a top coat on that. Here I've got some polyurethane and an angled brush, and I'm gonna use that for my top coat on my dresser drawers. So we'll go ahead and let that coat dry. Here are the drawers with the knobs on. This is the before look, and there it is, guys. That's it, the finished product. It was all worth it, thank you guys.